We're live. Good morning, everybody. This is your members stream. I want to thank everybody that's here that's currently live. I hope I hit live. Otherwise,
you are live.
Yeah, good, perfect. So, good morning from Australia to our special guest, Sergeant Slaughter. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, very good. Sipping coffee. I stayed up last night to watch the Hasbro Pulse Sergeant Slaughter exclusive video. That was great.
Yeah.
We'll have some time to talk about that. Kelly Slaughter, welcome to the Slaughterhouse.
Hello. I'm so
and
happy
our channel
to be back.
members. What's that?
I'm happy to be back.
Oh, good. Yes. Well, this is a double feature. So directly after this, we're going to jump over to Kelly's channel where Sarge is going to give us an interesting story to do with The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
But welcome to our guests, Hans Chow, Matthew Comstock, Space Commander, Joe Recondo, Phil, Treasures for Trigger. This is your members chat.
Hey.
I'm just here to sit down and listen and have some fun. We do have a new channel member that's just joined us. WolverineSnikkt has become a new YouTube member. If you want to join us, WolverineSnikkt, there should be a link for all channel members in the community tab. If you feel like you want to come and jump on, there's room for more. And before we do get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to Ken, who sent $2 and says, "Yo, Joe, and hi all. Get that Pulse Serpentor, folks." Oh, Serpentor. And a $9.99 Payne's Toy Sample sends. Little more for the Joe Fest Fund, Zazel. Thanks, mate. So, yeah, if you send a super chat, we'll give you a shout out. But, yeah, guys, here we are, hanging out with the legend, Sergeant Slaughter. How is everybody?
Oh, everything's good. Everything's good. I had an appearance today in New York or New Jersey, and really enjoyed it. A lot of fans came out, both wrestling and G.I. Joe. So a lot of stories were being told and reminiscing. A lot of grown men and grown women that were wrestling fans, G.I. Joe fans when they were young, and brought me pictures of how I put them in Cobra clutches when they were like 3 or 4 years old, and we had to read that same photo today. So it was a lot of fun.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
And of course, a lot of other wrestlers were there. One of my favorite, John North, who played the Berserker, one of his characters in the WWE. And we laughed and laughed all day long. He kept coming over and saying, "Remember that? Remember this? Remember that?" And we were really good friends with Kurt Hennig and the Road Warriors, of course, guys from Minnesota, Rick Rude and Barry Darsow. So we were telling all kinds of stories from wrestling to high school days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Dad, you should have recorded it.
I told John that he's got to be on our podcast one day. He has so many stories, and I have stories about him. And I don't know if you remember the story when I was a road agent, and we were going through Canada time. I forget what city it was. It might have been Calgary. And I got everybody through customs and through the security. And I stayed back. I wanted to be the last one, make sure everybody got through. There was no problems. And when I got to my event, there wasn't anybody that didn't make it through security or got picked up for something. And as I got through, there was a big argument between John Nord and the Iron Sheik. And John is just all over the Iron Sheik, yelling in his face and calling him names. And finally, I came through and I said, "John, what is the problem? What's the problem?" He goes, "Sarge, that son of a bitch took his gimmick, which was drugs, and stuck them in my suitcase." And my suitcase went through this conveyor belt. And what done, he came over and opened up my bag and took his gimmick out and put it back in his bag.
Oh no!
I looked at Cheek. I said, Cheeky, did you do that to John? You took your gimmick and put it in his bag? He said, yeah, the Sheik, he cannot get caught with the gimmick. I'm the main event. John said, Sarge, I've got a felon in this country, in Canada. If they would have found those drugs in my bag, I would never be going home ever again. I said, oh, that can't be possible. And John was like going crazy. So finally I got everybody okay, and we got to our cars or however we were traveling. So I get to the arena. Of course, there's a special room for the road agent, and people are running the show, and there's phones in there. As soon as I walked in, the phone's ringing. So I said, hello? Sarge? Yes? Vince? Oh, hey, Vince. Tell me what happened.
Mhm.
I tell him what happened. He said, go get the sheet, put him on the phone.
Uh-oh.
Chow's row, here he comes. Someone wants to talk to you. Oh, okay. Maybe an appearance? I said, well, maybe. So he says, hello, hello. And he hears this, yes, Mr. McMahon. Yes, okay. I tell him, okay, goodbye. So he gives me a phone back to me, and I said, hello, and Vince had already hung up. I said, what did he say? He said, I go home. I'm fired. So he had to pack his bags and head to the airport, the flight, and was reprimanded and suspended for, I think it was 6 weeks.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, that was one story of John here today. We laughed for blue in the face. It wasn't so funny at the time for John because he was looking at some serious time if they would have found those drugs in his bag,
Yeah.
Just never
Such
know.
an Iron Sheik thing to do.
Yeah, way to start the show off, huh?
Yeah, that's a great story. Oh man! Speaking of great stories, we were watching this morning. I'll just share it. Share the picture. Oh, we got someone else in the back. Gazz is here. Gazz is here too. Welcome, Gazz.
Hi,
Hey,
Gazz.
Gazz.
Howdy.
Yes.
So this came out today in a video with you and Emily Sarge for Hasbro Pulse, and Hans was making the comment that this looks more like a 3 3/4 inch action figure in your hands than it does a 6-inch action figure.
Does it?
So what's it like to have your newest G.I. Joe in hand, Sarge?
It is quite thrilling. You can balance it, actually hold with a little piece of something flat on your hand, and you set the new Slaughterhouse Hasbro G.I. Joe action figure on, and he's holding another action figure.
Yeah. So that there's
Right topic. It's just hello. You can see it.
All right.
yeah,
It's
there's 3 sorters right in this picture. Yeah.
How they came up with that idea, I have no idea, but it was very clever to have me hold myself,
So there you are holding an action figure that's holding an action figure of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like when you get a picture of your of 3 generations, but there's just 3 Sarges.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really quite clever.
Well,
But
I thought so.
It's always an honor to not hold an action figure of yourself, a photo, or watch a film or a clip of yourself. But it's really has dug into me the last few years of important being GI figure is, because we were talking today and with some of the fans and friends that were at this appearance today, when you're an action figure or you're in a animated cartoon series, you never age. You're always the same. You always look the same. And a lot of them say, "Well, so do you." And well, I don't know about that, but they said, "No, you really age well." Well, nobody told me to get old, so I've just been doing what I got to do. But to know, you're there in that piece of plastic or on that 8x10 and that glossy or whatever it is post, you never. It's always the same,
You're immortal.
Immortal. There you go.
Right.
Like
Immortal
the Hulk Hogan.
The immortal slime, yeah.
It's something, and be realistic with Hasbro and GI Joe. They have so many things. Emily was telling me after that podcast that they have. She told me I wasn't supposed to, and you guys are going to knocked out of your socks because I know you're fans of some of the things that she was telling me.
Well, you can share us. We won't tell anything.
Well,
The secret's safe with us.
You probably already the new pop, the new Joe Sergeant Slaughter pop.
Yeah.
That should be out shortly. He told me to go ahead if you want to. He said, "You've been talking about it anyway." So yeah. Go ahead, but we were trying to keep it kind of a secret. You go ahead, promote it if you want, but there are a couple of things she asked me not to.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I did see pictures of the new Funko Pop that's coming out, and I do have the WWE version. I still want to say WWF. I don't know why. It just WWF just brings back more memories than WWE. But anyway, I do have the WWE.
Foundation was very memorable.
It's got a nice ring to it.
It just means you're OG, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I do have that version of it. Does anyone else collect Funko Pops? No judgment. I don't collect them, but I have that one because it's the Sarge, so I have to have it. But now I have to have a second pop. And so if I have more than one Funko Pop, that makes me a collector, right?
It makes it a new rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Well, we all know there's at least one more pop we need to get.
Several of my action figures and the Funko Pop and the comic books that I call the Holy Grail because you can't ever find them hardly. And one of them, the WE Funko, they're not for sale anymore. You can't find them anymore. If you have one from previous years that you just bought and you bring it to a signing, you can't. Like today, the fellow that hired me to went looking at the whole convention trying to find Sergeant Slaughter Funko Pops to just buy and have at the table. One fellow brought 4 of them, and I said, "Do you know how much gold you have right there? Those are impossible. Why? Where did you get those?" And he says, "Well, I've had these for a couple of years, and I never had a chance to meet you, so just brought them to." There's some things that we call the Golden Grail. The other is the first comic book that I was in for GI Joe. Not on the cover, but I'm in the first entrance into GI Joe is comic. That's what I call a Golden Grail also, and of course the LJ Sergeant Slaughter figure, and the one that was one of the first. You couldn't buy the Sarge; you had to earn them. That's another Golden Grail type piece that I don't see much of anymore.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. If you still have the swagger stick, that's even worth more. The swagger stick,
it's there.
And the actual thing, that was the first thing everybody lost. Swagger stick.
So do a quick shout out to Articulated Chad sending his love and $1.99. I would argue that the love is worth more, and I appreciate the super chat, my friend. Thank you very much. So, Sarge, you've met Joe Recondo in person before.
Hello, Sarge.
Joe, how are
Good to
you?
see you again, sir. Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
We had Joe recently on the channel. He was telling us how he picked you up from the airport, and his buddy Tim. You were trying to convince Tim to get the tomahawk steak.
Yeah.
Now he goes. Now we call him Tomahawk Tim now.
Oh,
Space Commander's got a communique. What's he saying there?
Technical fail.
Oh, that's fine, mate.
no.
We'll still see you. Yeah.
Like the beach that you drew, the waves.
yeah.
All right. I think he's heading off. But you don't have to head off. You sit there as long as you want, mate.
That was a horrible.
No, he's gone.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
Sarge,
he's on vacation.
Oh.
Yeah,
So he had a technical failure.
right.
He
Maybe
was
the
like,
space
I got-
capsule crashed down to the beach.
I don't blame him.
Sarge, I had a question for you, Sarge. Since you and Kelly are together right now, did you ever give her the pins I gave you to give to her?
I did.
Good.
I did.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He was thrilled.
Kelly's not saying anything. She's still thinking. It's like, did I? Did I get them?
I actually showed them to her, and I still.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. So Tomahawk Tim, he could actually do. That's how. What an appetite he had.
well, yeah. I think he said that he regretted not getting the tomahawk because afterwards you kept telling him that he should have gone the tomahawk.
And now he wants the tomahawk.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on tonight. I don't know where he is.
Got a new name.
Did you send him a message, Joe? Send Tim a message and see if he's going to join us. But yeah, I think yeah. Oh, speaking of shirts, Sarge, you're rocking your Sergeant Slaughter shirt. Slaughter Daughter is wearing the Slaughterhouse shirt, and I'll move this down a little.
Press yesterday. Somebody made that.
We're each wearing merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this was given Dean Arch, who goes with me on a lot of my appearances. When
Yeah, Dean's been on the show.
yeah, he's been on the show. He just made a shirt, and so I thought I would wear it on the show today.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a
Dad,
great
I've
shirt.
got a lot of questions about my vintage Sergeant Slaughter Cobra Clutch shirt, the first shirt that you ever had.
Right, the green one.
The green one. I know that you had it recreated. Are you planning on selling those?
No, I wasn't planning on it. I believe the W still owns the rights to those.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. It's vintage and it's mine. I'm not giving it up.
eBay. We'll go looking on eBay.
yours,
Yeah.
yours is an original. Yep.
These days, you probably couldn't even fight Kelly to take it from her. She'd beat you up. You see her on Instagram. God. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a little upset the past couple days because there was a hurricane that came through here. And so the gym closed for like a day and a half or maybe like 24 hours or so. But it was like Friday and then Saturday morning. So all the classes I normally take on Friday and Saturday morning weren't happening. So I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself.
All the weights were probably relieved. They've got, thank Christ, we get a break from Kelly because she comes in and she's like, "Blah!" I'm like, "No, please, Jesus."
Having withdrawal symptoms.
I am ready to fight. I'm like, Derek, to my husband, I'm like, you want to go fight?
No.
Derek, put on this harness. Let's lift him.
Let's put, we need to cover your face. You need padding.
Padding, right. Yeah, that's
Derek,
scary.
what happened to your face? I fell down the stairs.
So I don't know if you noticed, Sarge, but Matthew Comstock here has decided to represent Cobra of all things.
All that.
Yeah.
Is
thought
there
that
Cobra clutch in his future.
Hey, sometime between June 9th and June 11th, you're welcome to do that.
Okay. I've got one with your name on it.
Okay.
How are we doing with the GoFundMe?
Well, we hit our first milestone, just cracked over $1,000 on the GoFundMe, so that trying to get this Aussie kid over to the USA to meet Sergeant Slaughter and hopefully get a Cobra Clutch of my own. I'll try not to upset you between now and then, because that'll depend on how severe the Cobra Clutch is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hit the first milestone, just over $1,000, which means that next week, when I go live, we'll be doing a giveaway. There'll be a giveaway for every quarter milestone. And so we hit our first one, which is really good. So fingers crossed, I'll be getting beat up, drunk, left in the gutter with Kelly, and then dragged over to Joe Fest. And with any luck, my hangover won't be so bad by the time I get to Joe Fest that I'll still remember the whole experience. So yeah.
Previous years that I've been there, we did a breakfast with Sarge on Saturday, which was always a lot of fun to get up for. after
I'll need us
nothing, out of the unusual, but
Hi, Ryan.
sometimes you kind of like to sleep in, but and then Reveille goes off at 0500. It's like, oh man, why did I sign up for this?
I have a feeling that I'm going to say those exact words on day 2 of my trip after spending a night with Kelly. I'm going to be sore. My muscles are going to be sore. My legs are going to be sore. My head's going to be sore. Everything's going to be sore. We're going to
like, you ready?
Wake up! Wake up!
Has a dial on it on how severe it can be put on. So we'll see how you're doing.
Yeah, might have to dial it back a little in case I'm severely hungover, or maybe just put me to sleep. I'll let you. It's like, yes, put me out. I need a rest. Yeah. So we got another super chat.
Worst part about the Joe Fest is that it goes over. It's over so fast. It just goes too fast.
It is
right.
Not enough time. We need a week. We need a week of Joe Fest, not just 2 days.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
But we might have liver damage by then.
Yeah.
So Chad sends $4.99 saying, an awesome seeing Sarge during the Pulse Con panel today. Yep, agree. Joe could have never hoped for a better ambassador than Sergeant Slaughter. I agree.
Unbelievable. I agree.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. I think the WWE has the same words. They're so happy that I talked them into not only having someone be an ambassador, but having it be me.
Right. We just want to welcome Dreadnought Ryan, who's just jumped in. How are you, Ryan?
Ryan.
I am good. How is everyone tonight?
Good.
Fantastic.
Good.
Sorry, it's an absolute pleasure to get to speak to you. You have been an idol since I was a little kid.
Wow.
You were my first mail away figure, and I loved you in G.I. Joe. So thank you for being somebody a kid could look up to, that when they grew up, they found out was an even better man than what they could have ever thought.
Well, thank you so much.
Amen.
That's good to hear that. That always puts another beat in my heart when I hear those stories. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you. And you have a pretty awesome daughter, by the way, too. So
Thank you.
They are the dynamic duo.
A badass bitch, I'll tell you.
It's all about phrasing. It's all about phrasing. Remember Kelly when he put out the my badass bitch daughter?
He said my badass bitch of a daughter.
Oh, is that what it was?
What? God.
The word makes it different.
Yeah, one extra word.
Yeah.
I know you always like to do like a one take thing, but maybe that one could have been redone.
Yeah.
We'll see how true that is come Joe Fest. So Space Commander, aka Peppermint Oil Capsule, says, "Sorry guys, no Wi-Fi on the coast. Love and kisses. So yeah, love and kisses to you too, Space Commander. Thanks for dropping in, even if only for a moment. That guy can rock a hat. I'm
I
telling
would
you.
hope you tell us if there's any more hurricanes around.
Yeah, well, I heard. He's got the early warning system, right? Being up in space.
Yeah,
He can see it.
I heard Florida got hit pretty hard, right?
Yeah,
hit really hard. The South Carolina coast got hit hard. North Carolina, the Carolinas got hit hard.
Is the worst of it over now?
Not as hard as Florida got hit, but there was flooding and.
My old home in Naples, I think got pretty well wiped out.
Yeah, right.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful place that you lived, Dad.
Yeah. Water there, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I went to two hurricanes there, and each time the flooring, because it all warped, and it was like it was on the third or fourth floor, so that's how high the water got.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, I was long gone, hanging around there.
Nope, fair enough.
You know, his pool at the complex that he lived at, the bricks were like this pink, almost. It was like a pinky taupey color. They didn't get hot from the sun.
Right.
So you could walk out barefoot and your feet wouldn't get hot.
Yeah, I remember one time watching a hurricane storming, and we were out looking at the ocean and standing by the pool, and my neighbor said, "Look," and I turned around, and all the water came out of the pool like a funnel.
Oh, wow.
Air about maybe 30 feet and came right back down right into the pool.
Huh.
It was, I'm out of here.
Yeah, fair enough.
You might think it's kind of cool, but I'm getting out of here. I'm in my car, took off.
Be a good way to scrub the bottom of the pool if the water came up high enough for long enough.
Yeah.
So all the water left the Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah?
All the water left the Tampa Bay. Yeah, it was like all washed out. And I'm like, well, it ended up in Fort Myers.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to everyone.
I'm not living in Michigan anymore then, so shut up. I'll take my cold weather any day.
Yeah, that's just life in the southeast U.S.
Do you get hurricanes in Australia?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't get quite as much or quite as often as the States do, but we get some severe weather off the coast. But yeah, nothing that severe for a long time, at least not from my most recent memory.
Is it called a hurricane?
But yeah, most of the time we're pretty
Cyclone.
Cyclone?
Yeah, we get cyclone.
They can't have sharks and spiders and snakes and all that stuff and hurricanes.
Yeah, it picks up all those deadly animals and just spins them around and throws them all at it. It's where they got the idea for like that, but with crocodiles and spiders and snakes.
A hurricane come through where you guys were?
Yep. It passed by us when it was a tropical storm, and we were all there like, please Jesus, not twice in 1 year. And it dodged, thank goodness. So we didn't get hit with with Ian. Ian did hit Florida, which is unfortunate. But all our houses down here are constructed of steel, concrete, and goodwill. So it's usually it just tosses stuff around, and then we walk outside and sweep it back up, and then we're good to go again.
Right, right. That's what we do. We're humans. We survive. We're an animal that has to survive, so we just rebuild.
Yeah.
Look at Puerto Rico. They're still not done with the first or the second hurricane that went through, and now they got hit again. I mean, when do you?
Yeah. That's imagine going through something like that and then going through something like that again while you're still trying to recover.
Right. Around the Samoans wrestling career, Colby, don't live on the ocean. Live, go visit the ocean, but don't live on it because it's very dangerous. And I see what they meant. Being a farm kid from Minnesota, never even knowing what the ocean was hard. And hearing those stories, I always say, I want to retire on the ocean. And they would always say, no, sorry, don't live on the ocean.
Hey, Sarge, how was it like working with Afa and Sika?
Oh, it was what we call a night off. All that a night. You had more energy after the match than you had going in. But yeah, they knew each other so well that they wouldn't even tag. They just come to the ring, one time and switch off, and that started the beginning of no tag ropes. I don't know if you guys go back far enough to remember, but when you were a tag team partner, you had a rope about maybe 14, 18 inches long. You had to hold on to that rope, and you could reach out and try to touch your partner and get tagged in. But if you didn't have that rope and you didn't come in, that was it.
Right.
And so they kind of stretched the rules a little bit. The Samoans, they just started coming in and out of the ring, so they just eliminated the tag. You don't see them anymore. But that took a lot of interest and fun out of those tag matches, because you would be, that close to tagging your partner. You're hanging on to that rope as far as you can reach, and he's just dangling there, and they take him away from you. And the people, oh, geez, he was that close. Now they don't do that anymore. They've taken that fun away from the fans and for us who form and want to make the people go, oh, he almost had it. He almost got him. So many in the sports entertainment wrestling.
I've never seen a tag team match that had to have a piece of rope, so I need to go back and check that out. Speaking of Tomahawk Tim, Corporal Tomahawk is, in fact, that same Tim that you were trying to convince to get the Tomahawk. So welcome, YouTube member Corporal Tomahawk. And a quick shout out.
Zales, I thought he already became a member. He was having trouble logging in or something. I don't know.
Maybe he's in the chat.
Yeah.
He had a problem with a lot of things that weekend, I imagine.
You.
Oh man.
Oh geez. Oh man. We love you, Tim. We love you.
Looking for Tim. Where's Tim? I don't know. Where's is there a place to eat around here? Yeah. There he is.
Good on.
I still gotta say, Sarge, that was one of my high points of my life to get the chance to hang out with you for the weekend and talking to you, and now I'm talking to Kelly and you together. That's great.
We've talked about it on the show. Here you are.
Yep. Corporal Tomahawk says that he joined a second time, so that makes him a double member. Which, of course, he did.
Hit me, boy. Get that credit. We'll take all your.
Yeah. Thanks for joining twice. What was that, Sarge? I couldn't hear you then.
We'll take his money.
Just a quick shout out to Space Commander saying Zaza's GoFundMe. He's added £2 to it. Who's next to enter the draw? Thanks, mate. Right. Crashes, I challenge Zazel to the body slam challenge.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
that could raise some money, but I don't know if it'd be able to walk.
I also need health insurance.
Wheelchair to get you to the airplane.
That's right.
What if we did like a burpee challenge or something? Being you.
Kelly's got all kinds of plans for you.
Wait, a what challenge?
Burpees.
Yo.
Explain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Zazel,
sorry.
you know what a burpee
could-
is?
I have no idea.
Show you, bro.
It's after you drink beer,
No,
isn't
I
it? A burpee.
Oh,
Oh,
burpee
yeah.
challenge. Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. I'm sorry.
Yep.
My bad.
And just to make it fair, maybe we'll do burpees and beer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Gotta have
super burpees.
Become
So,
the
yeah, that's what we
vomit
call-
comment
yeah.
pretty quick.
To make
it's
it
gonna
fair,
be a-
because you don't do burpees and I don't do beer.
There you go.
All right. So that's a good
Everybody
trade-off.
does vomit.
So that's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we might have to censor that out.
Oh,
The Joe
That's
That's the
fine.
fun part. That's get the likes.
Yeah.
Zazel doesn't do beer.
no, I do
don't
beer.
do beer.
Dave does beer for sure.
He does beer. I do burpees.
You do the
Yeah,
burp.
yeah. I'm Australian. I definitely do beer. And like Phil said, I don't know if anyone caught that, but what was that comment you made, Phil?
Burpees are what you do after you drink beer, right? Not
Right. You can't help it. So Sarge, Nolan has sent $2 Canadian and asked if he can get a attention, you maggots.
Oh, yes. A Ted Hut. All you Canadian maggots out there. Yo, Joe.
Full force.
UK. We still say yo, Joe here.
We throw out a full force for Space Commander. He's an Action Force boy. Classic Action Force, because back where he was, G.I. Joe was Action Force. So we give him an honorary full force every time, Space Commander. Such a good bloke, such a good guy.
Good.
So who else has got some epic questions for the Sarge?
Well, so can I just say that this is a pleasure. I'm sitting here grinning from ear to ear. The Sarge in the chat with us. I mean, today's been a hell of a day for me. Met Michael Beck, now Sarge. This is just my mind is blown completely. So thank you for doing this for us, Hazel, Sarge, Kelly. This is great. Thank you very much.
I'm honored to be put in.
So I had to put my game face on today.
Okay.
We can tell. So, Gazz, tell us.
I wish you guys could have been a little mouse to hear all the stories today.
Oh.
Just as I was, we were talking earlier about all the fans that come up and say it wasn't you. I wouldn't have gone this direction. I wouldn't have went that direction. I wouldn't have did this and wouldn't have did that. But because of what you said or what you did or what watching your promos and things and the messages that you sent out with G.I. Joe, they followed them. You have to realize that those are live people you're talking to. That human beings that take the advice that you give,
right,
better themselves. The ones that don't take the advice don't better themselves. So when they come by and they're grinning from ear to ear and they can't get enough of you, taking pictures, can't wait to tell you the stories. And then you got the little ones that can't even see over the table that know who you are. It's just incredible how, as we said, you just don't die. You're immortal. They have all the ways of watching wrestling matches that I was back in the 80s, 90s. The G.I. Joe made it serious. All the commercial things that it did, and it was all for a reason. It's great. It's wonderful. Even my advice.
If you hadn't have changed gimmick, this whole YouTube channel might have been called Super Destroyer Mark II. We're just going to welcome double time member Corporal Taft Tim in the house, right in the bottom corner there. That's Tomahawk Tim there, Sarge. You remember him? He became a member twice today.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Actually, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Miss you. Saw you.
Good. Everything good?
Well, yes and no. I've actually got a lung infection right now. So I think I think I had it back when the event. That's why it was such a mess at the event. And it's kind of festered. So I'm on some horse pills right now.
Yeah.
But
but
I'm hanging strong.
Hope you get better.
Thank you.
Do it soon, and that's an order.
Yes, sir.
Do whatever you have to do, maggot.
Oh, don't make me laugh too hard. It hurts.
You're a corporal, but right now you're a maggot until you get better.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
An order is an order.
Did I just get demoted live or what here?
You did.
You totally did.
The live smackdown.
Man.
Could you give us?
Gotta love it.
When you get that good bill of health, we'll make you corporal again, maggot.
Hey, Dad, do you remember like the first time you realized, like the first time you got like recognized, like when you were out and somebody like came up to you for an autograph or was like, "Hey, you're Sergeant Slaughter," or you're, whatever gimmick you were doing at the time? Do you remember that?
I saw autographs, but that was much earlier. I was about 15 years old, but that had nothing to do with my wrestling or anything. But
right
when we were training, Vern Gagne's training camp in Minnesota, he wanted us to come down and watch the live show so that we could, see what it's like from, a live position. So we came down. I went to my favorite men's store, and I got this beautiful navy blue shirt, and had a new pair of slacks and shoes on, and I was decked out, and I had a nice sports coat on. And so we were watching the matches that were live. And after the show was going to go off, we were going to get into the ring and work out after everybody had left. It was in a studio, so there was only maybe 50 people there. But so we're watching, and they went to a commercial break, and Vern Gagne comes out of the producer's room, and he goes, "Hey, Marty O'Neill was the fellow that interviewed you." He goes, "Hey, Marty, interview the new recruits there, the new trainees." And so he says, "Oh, okay." And Marty was about 4 foot, maybe. My mother was taller than Marty.
Oh, wow. And Grant like 4'8".
So Marty was a little guy. So we get assembled, and we're making our way in a commercial break, which is usually about a little less, more than 3 minutes, and then you're live again. So we're scrabbling to get on camera. And of course, Marty says, "Hey, you, what's your name?" And I said, "I'm Bob." And he goes, "Okay, Bob, I'm going to interview you first." And I said, "You are?" "Oh, okay." And so we were just standing there, and a couple of wrestlers got into the ring to be announced as soon as we were done with our segment. So we're hearing this 3, 2, 1, take it, Marty. "All right, welcome back to AWA action." And he went through his whole spiel. And I have the privilege to interview Bob here. But what's your last name? "Bob Remus." "Remus." And he asked me questions about the camp, and I was so nervous because that red light came on, and I'm freaking out, and so we get all done, and he goes, "Bob, you've got a future in this. You really did a good job of and the right questions and all that." "Oh, thank you, Marty." So we finished. That was like the end of the show, and one more match. So we go downstairs to get our dress, do our workout. So I get downstairs and I take my beautiful new navy blue shirt, and I still have it on because all the dye came off my shirt because I was sweating so bad. And my whole body looked like I looked like one of those blue guys that
Smurf.
Yeah, like Smurf. I look like, and like
I just heard the song say Smurf.
Sergeant Smurf, yes.
And I felt sand in my mouth. How they get sand in my mouth, and I take my finger and I go through my tongue, and here's all these little particles. I said, "That's my teeth." I was so nervous. I was grinding my teeth.
Whoa.
And so I right away that this wasn't for me. I didn't want anything to do with it. I started getting like hyperventilating every time the red light would come on, and I would get real nervous. I get all these red spots on me, and after I got into the business and created a couple of characters, it still bothered me when I read them on. But that night after we were done working out, I go to a local bar called Bunnies, Bunns, Bunnies, real hot bar. I walk in and everybody goes, "Hey, there's Bob Rivas. He was just on television." And that's when I realized that maybe this is the business I want to go into, because the notoriety, I was recognized that quick. Because I was on television and everybody watched the AW wrestling live from 6 to 7:30 every Saturday night. And there I was, and people were asking me for my autograph. And we didn't have cell phones. Nobody got any pictures unless they had a disposable camera, which is unusual. But that was my first autograph and being recognized right there. But soon after, I had to finally quit the business because I got an ulcerated colitis because of being so nervous and so knocked out about that red light. And so I quit the business. And, I got back into it. I created Sergeant Slaughter, because as soon as I created Sergeant Slaughter, I wasn't nervous anymore. It was the character I was portraying. I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being Bob Remus or beautiful Bob Remus or super Bob Remus. I dropped the Remus and wanted to. The other name that I always wanted to be was Bob Slaughter. And then lo and behold, I see the movie The DI, and Jack Webb played the Marine drill instructor, and Bob Slaughter, Sergeant Slaughter. That's it. That's how Sergeant Slaughter was created. At that point on, I've never had a problem. Anything, even going through life through other problems, I always, outside my body, I guess, or outside myself, and I take things a little differently than most people, I guess. I try to teach that to my daughters, that that's not that important. Your life is the most important thing. So whatever it is out there, it's not worth dying. Hypertension is the number one killer in men. I know about women. Men.
Women too.
Do they? Yeah. So
heart attack.
I just have I've had a guardian angel over me. I don't know how long, probably most of my life. And here we are. We're just lucky to be doing what we're doing. Kelly and I, we got bad news today that her grandmother, my mother-in-law, went into a bad place today, but in a good place.
Yeah, not a bad place. She's just transitioning.
And, she's been here and tough as nails, but it's her time. It's time to go. but she had a good life. I think I was there with Kelly's mom, and we kind of went there goodbyes, and I figured this was the last time we saw her because we live so far away, and it's hard to go back and forth. But I could see in her eyes and the smile on her face, she saw Kelly's mom, her oldest daughter. She was sad. She was happy. Oh, she was waiting so long for her to see her daughter.
Right.
And when I saw that look, and Diane said, "Mom, we're going to be leaving today, and I probably won't be back for a couple of months." And Kelly's grandmother's face just went like, "Oh, well, that's it. I'm not any longer. I can't wait another 2 months for you." I told Diane, I said, "Maybe you shouldn't have said. Why don't you say like a couple of weeks? Don't even tell her you're not coming. Just say goodbye to you again later, you know." But
it's hard to figure. It's hard in that moment, though. It's hard to put out the words. And yeah. That would be a tricky situation to be in, emotional situation to be in.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would react to that either, but
right.
Yeah.
But that's it's life. We're all going to be going one day, all
sure.
How we go.
She's my last remaining grandparent, and I'm so lucky that I still have a grandparent at my age. A lot of people my age have lost their grandparents a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that she's been around so long and been such a inspiration to us all. She's very strong, and she had 10 children. And she outlived 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her husband. And when I had my son, I called her and I said, "Grandma, I don't know how you did this 10 times because I'm ready to pull my hair out and I only have one. How did you do this 10 times?" And I have all these luxuries of, the modern times. I have she was washing, reusable cloth diapers, with a, she didn't have a washing machine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I had all these modern luxuries that she didn't have, and I was still struggling. And she basically said that I was a wimp. And I'll never forget that phone call because I said, "Hey, Grandma, how's it going?" And she goes, "Well, I'm still kicking it, and sometimes I got to kick myself in the butt to get going, but I'm still going."
Yeah.
So she is just a wonderful, wonderful woman and a spitfire, and put up with my grandpa for a long time, 10 kids, and I still don't know how she did it. So.
Well, shout out to Grandma Slaughter, who is obviously a real hero, a real American hero as well.
Yeah.
It's my mom's mom, so it's but yeah.
We don't have to divulge names, but shout out to Grandma. Shout out to Grandma. Thanks for sharing that very personal story, guys. That's not an easy thing to talk about, but it's great to remember the good times and reflect back on all those precious memories, some of which you only get a short time. Kelly was blessed enough to have it for a long time.
Yes, very blessed.
I just want to do a quick shout out to Articulated Chad, who sent $1.99 and says, "Sarge was a huge part of why I joined the Army." So
there you go. Thank you for your service.
Sarge was a huge influence on a lot of people's lives, I imagine. And
I did get on a stage in a post. I just played a character called Slaughter.
Who's coming in the background? That's a fantastic tune.
Yeah, grateful for that.
Yeah, we didn't get that story, Dad. Can you start over?
What? What did I say?
We don't know.
Oh, that I thank you. That happens every day. Someone will say, "I joined force you." Stand on a soapbox, get on a poster. I want you, armed forces. They, my character, inspired to do that. Grateful and thankful that they were that inspired to serve the our country and to love it that much to at one point put your life on the line for all of us.
Right.
Absolutely.
Didn't come back, and some are wounded and still a lot of wounded warriors out there. And so if you ever have an opportunity to talk to them or give them a salute, anybody that served in the armed forces or no matter what country it was in, it's the same thing. They're there to do all of us good. Never hurts to give them a salute and a thank you.
Well, yes, thank you to everybody out there that is serving. But I do appreciate. I've never done anything as selfless as fight for my country, and I appreciate the fact that they do. I went ahead and muted everybody to find out who the culprit was that was playing that music or humming in the background. Does anyone want to put votes on who it was?
Tim.
Oh, you kill me! You kill me!
Yo,
you know that
Corporal Baggett.
You know that story you were telling earlier about the Smurfs? Well, I'm gonna start calling you Papa Sarge.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
That'd be cool to put Sergeant Slaughter as a Smurf.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right. It's
That
only a
would
matter
be
of
cool.
time.
Look at that.
There's gears turning in Hans's head. I can see it.
Yeah.
Is the Halloween still happening?
Yeah, that's going to be the next sketch we see on Hans's Instagram.
Wait, what did I do?
Phil's got a question.
Yeah.
Phil, what was your question, Phil?
Sarge, I just want to say it's an absolute honor as well. And I'm in Japan at the moment, and I love listening to your stories about your trips to Japan.
Oh,
I just wondered if you have a favorite place in Japan, because I'd love to go there, take my Sarge figure with me and have a wee Sarge moment. Do you have a favorite place or city that you went to in Japan?
So many stories in Japan because it is another world from what I grew up in, kid growing up on the, and going down to the local pond and whatever to go fishing and things like that. I remember the first time I went over to Japan, I had to fly through Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. And I got on the plane. I was in the center, and there was two Oriental gentlemen, Asian gentlemen, that were sitting on each side of me. One that was on the window must have had a bad kidney. He was up about 35, 40 times during that trip, and I had to keep. He finally just climbed over me and didn't worry about me getting up to let him out because I wasn't moving. I said, "Hey, if you got to go bad, why don't you get another seat somewhere or just stay on your feet for a while?" But of course, getting to Japan, I never had sushi before. I've heard of it, but I didn't know what it was too much. And so the first time they took us out for dinner, we went to a sushi bar, of course, and they brought this tray of sushi and what's the other thing without the rice? Sashimi. And so I looked at it and they said, "This is an honor for you to have this because your sponsor that brought you here, you won him a lot because you won." and he wants you to eat. It's a very delicate, delicacy.
Delicacy. No,
Yeah.
delicacy.
Yeah, and I looked. I said, we put that on our hook when we go fishing. We don't do that. We just put it on our hook and we throw it into the lake or the pond where we're trying to catch fish. They said, "Oh no, you eat it, but good for you, very good for your heart, your blood." And I can't do it. So for my first 6 trips to Japan, I never ate sushi. So they always had these restaurants where you would go that American type, and it was all in plastic, made in plastic, and it was in the front window of the restaurant, and it had the Japanese what it was, and then the American of what it was in writing. They would have the price on there. You take the bakers outside and you say, "Give me one of those and one of those." Oh, okay, a lot of curry. I ate a lot of curry. But, the one of the funner times I had is we on this big cage, and my sponsor, Mafia, they would whenever you would come over, a member of this group would take you, and you would fight against all the other guys that were, and so they had a tab of who won the most matches. And so I won this big cage match, and this sponsor of mine made a kill of an enormous amount of money. So he wanted to take me out and wine and dine me. So we drive out to this beautiful bar. Anytime you went there, you take a sip of something, and then you're on. You're off again. You were just being showboated. The sponsors wanted to walk in and throw their chests out and say, "Look what my guy did." And so we finally go out to this way out in the country, and we stop. And there's about 4 or 5 other wrestlers with me. And we go up these back steps of this house, and it's dark, and we have to sit on the floor, and a flame going. And they brought out a turtle and a turtle. What was the other? It was a turtle and a snake, I think it was. And so they helped, and the interpreter said, "Is this okay for you?" And I said, "Yeah, good. Nice animals, So the guy leaves, comes back, and we got this glass of wine. I know it was wine, but it smell of wine. So it was time to talk to me, champion, at that particular moment. So we went to do a toast, and as I drank the wine down, I noticed when I put the glass back down that the wine was kind of thick, and it was laying on the side of the glass. Then I see the gentleman come out with the snake, turtle, and kind of taking them out of their shell and out of their skin, and raw.
Yikes.
And I finally put 2 and 2 together, is that we just drank the blood.
Right.
Their blood that we just drank, because that's why it was still on the end of the glass. And they put a little wine or some type of an alcohol in it. And that's a big honor to do that. And so the gentleman next to me, the wrestler to me, he didn't drink. And so the interpreter said, "Joe, you must drink your wine," or whatever it was. He goes, "I'm not drinking that." must drink that, or they'll be very. And he said, I don't care if they're insalted or not. I'm not drinking that. I know what that is. That's the blood. Like, I'm not. So the interpreter said, you may not get out alive if you don't.
Right.
What? What did you just say? Said he might not. So I said, Joe, slide over. So I go a little bit. I told some type of a joke about I deserve another one, and I cranked his down, so there was no more blood left. They couldn't get any more blood, so they let him off. They're all laughing. Oh, the sergeant
saved the day again.
He saved the day. Man, I'm strong since. I don't know, but that was a really fun time, and I guess my all-time favorite. I don't want to take up everybody's. I have to say, probably my all-time favorite was I went in after I'd won a match, and they took me into this place, and the stench was not good. The stench was really rough, and so I'm sitting there, and the smoke. They smoked one right after the other over there. A lot of cars. And so here comes this guy with a pail. Pail underneath the table. And I don't know what that's about. Maybe we're going to have some crabs or something. Throw the oysters maybe and throw the shells in there. So then they were talking in their language. And so and here come this monkey. They had a big monkey. The thing was about maybe 3 feet tall, and took the monkey, and they said, "Okay," kind of in their language. Okay, to my sponsor. Okay, slaughter. Yeah, I like monkeys. They're nice. Oh, no. So then they cranked the table open, put the monkey's head in, and they crank it, recranked it. Guy takes a big machete out of the back of his tail, and he goes,
"Oh my god!"
Oh gee!
And all I heard was this kicking, boom, bang, boom. The poor monkey was under the.
Oh.
It had to be this little dinky spoon, and they poured some liquor into the top of this monkey head, and they said, "Kampai." Okay. Eating monkey brain, and I'm still alive today, thank God.
Well, I bet you that guy that gave up the shot of what was it, lizard or frog or whatever it was?
Joe, yeah.
Turtle, yeah, whatever. Yeah, the guy who gave up the shot would have preferred that over monkey brains, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was quite a situation because
you bring back that green slime.
You needed a fork because you couldn't. It wouldn't come apart. You had it was. Oh
God.
Yeah.
Sarge,
all right, guys.
Temple of Doom.
So monkey brains, I can eat about anything. I mean,
right.
Yeah, pretty soon, of course, the sound got a lot less, and they pulled the monkey out. Took him. But that was a custom of theirs that they did. And that was it was quite an honor to have been bestowed on me. I really didn't want it, but it was.
Phil, you ever been to a restaurant like that?
No, it's top of my list now.
I was gonna say, if they do that for people they really like, I would hate to see what they do for the people they don't like.
Yeah, Phil, I think if you find yourself in a restaurant like that, you need to back away slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting for them to put Joe's head in.
Yeah, I'll have the Joe special.
I told you to drink the wine, Joe. I told you.
Now we've got monkey brains.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's that brings us to the end of our monthly members stream. Don't forget, though, this is a double feature. So the link is in the chat here and in the description to jump over, check out the epic tale that we're about to hear over at the Slaughtered Daughter House. So hit that link and meet us over there shortly. But I do want to thank, first and foremost, Sergeant Slaughter, a real American hero. Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you to Kelly for also being here and subjecting us to what you believe is going to be some of the worst pain I'm ever going to be in come Joe Fest. And thank you to every one of the channel members and everybody viewing at home or wherever you may be. A quick last, Jason sent us $9.99 blank, but we appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. They'll go straight to the fund, to the GoFundMe. And we did get quite a few donations. Some of those who donated are here right now in the members live stream. So thank you for that, guys. Yeah. We'll touch base next week and talk more about the GoFundMe then. But as this is your members chat, I hope you guys all had fun today. We'll do it again next month. And until then, we'll see you over in a few moments right here at the Slaughter Daughter official channel. So hit that link. We'll see you there shortly. We're dismissed.
You're dismissed.